What's up, everybody? It's your boy Toon Gamings, and today we're actually going to be watching a more educational kind of video. It's if you never saw it before, you wouldn't believe it was real. And this is by the channel formerly known as Hood Nature. Nature now known as Casual Geographics. If you like the video, if you enjoy the video, leave a like, comment. If you have any requests, and subscribe to the channel. And the link to the original video will be down in the description. So let's get into it. That thing is fucking ugly. The fuck is that?
I know what the fuck that was supposed to be like. I had to go in the comments for this. And apparently that's not a deformity. That's actually what they're supposed to look like.
What?
Now, I'm not going to sit here and say God makes
the fuck kind of skull is that?
Also, the Damascus named God won a prize for most beautiful goat in a contest in 2008.
Wait, you telling me this thing won a fucking prize for most beautiful goat? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. To me, that thing is fucking ugly.
Some of y'all will lie unprovoked for no fucking reason. I can call them beautiful, but tell me this goat didn't crawl straight out the Goonies. They actually look somewhat normal as babies, but then I guess puberty hits them like Hiroshima. It's honestly the pug of goats, and I truly mean that. And I read some comments on the internet saying, oh, he just wants love. I repeat that, he wants my life essence. We played God with goats, now we got Barnyard and Dark Souls, and I do not like it. And I could have sworn Satan took the form of a goat. Actually, you know y'all don't gotta tag me in every actual video. Like, what do you expect me to say? Like, his existence looks like pain. And for y'all that are gonna sit there and tell me that he actually looks cute, I pay way too much for context for y'all to lie about what's in front of me. Crazy thing is, this is the second most disturbing goat video I've ever seen. Hello.
That motherfucker right there. Fuck no.
They don't fly, they fly. Since they spend most of their lives near trees, they basically just airdrop themselves from branch to branch. And it's not a lemurs are primates, making them related to carnivorous chimps and us. But this thing isn't a primate. Whoever named it would probably name it in his faith. They use that squishy membrane called a peduncle to glide like flying squirrels. And they can travel
that looks disgusting.
that's 200 meters or a little bit less than 200 meters. But it's not a flying squirrel. There was a time people thought they were just God's rough draft of a bat, but colugos aren't related to bats either. And if you look at the order, they're Dermotera, they're the only living members. It's like pulling up to a family reunion and finding out you're the only one left. And because they're
That sucks. That just straight up sucks. It's like that was my phone dropped. That bitch. Okay, right there. But yeah, that sucks. The only member? Fuck that.
personality involves flying. They're too slow and awkward to survive on the ground. And for an animal that lives in the trees, they're pretty mid-climbers. There's no doubt that being nocturnal is probably the only thing keeping them alive. Mother colugos will carry their babies everywhere for the first 6 months, which made some people believe it was a marsupial, like some type of deformed hair koala. But it's none of those things. So what the fuck is it? Well, scientists performed genetic analyses on them, basically a 23andMe for a flying cockroach. And it turns out the closest evolutionary relative is pretty much the closest you can get to primates without actually being one. Which means this DNA
The fuck is that thing?
is an actual squirrel. You know.
That's ugly.
That is Glaucus atlanticus. It's a type of nudibranch, but it's also known as a sea slug. It's also a gastropod mollusk. I'm not finna bore you with a whole biology lesson, but gastropod means it's related to snails, and mollusk means it pulls up to the same cookout as octopus, squid, and cuttlefish. Also, touching one like this is a creative way of saying you want to pay more for health insurance. These
What?
venomous siphonophores like the Portuguese man of war and steal its venom to use to handle its own life. It stores the venom in its tissue, so if a predator or person gets too close, shades of around and find out.
Oh god. Oh my god. That's fucking genius. It's good clothes, get 50 shades of fucking around, mess around and find out. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Love it. And yes, kids are watching, but at the same time, who cares? Their parents probably cuss more at home. And don't even. And if you watching this video, don't try to say you don't. Don't if you're a parent, because my parents cussed around me a lot. I know I'm not stupid. Most of the cuss words I learned was literally from them. True.
Basically, they don't need to be alive to put you in the hospital. So if you see one on the beach, it's definitely a look, but don't touch. Because if anything's that close, well, there's probably a good reason they don't need to hide. Exhibit A. This blue vibe check can be found off the coast of South Africa in European waters off the east coast of Australia, because Australia, and some have even been found in the Gulf of California. But are also hermaphrodites that may be sword fighting and stabbing each other. Normally in nature, the winner gets the female, but here the loser becomes one. The more you know. Here's the story of how 76 beavers were parachuted into Idaho, and yes, that is a thing that happened.
What?
So in the 1940s, the people of Idaho had beef with the buck-toothed beaver population, mainly because their habit of taking down trees was causing floods in people's yards and damage to gardens. But because beavers actually contribute to society, unlike some of the people complaining about them, the government decided that instead of squad wiping them, it would just be better to move them to another area code. The only problem was the moving process for beavers involved putting them in boxes and Ubering them via horses and mules. This was the 40s, there was no beaver U-Haul. These boxes would overheat and the beavers would become so stressed that they would refuse to eat, and the horses and mules carrying them eventually got pressed too. It was a bad time for everyone involved.
Damn.
They realized they had to get creative. And apparently creative meant tying the boxes to parachutes from World War II and literally airdropping them into the You can't just eat a beaver out of a plane without being sure you weren't just committing beaver slaughter with extra steps. So they experimented the best and safest ways to drop beavers from a plane, and the test subject they used was an old been around the block beaver named Geronimo. You really can't make this up. After using old man Geronimo to figure out the perfect height and area to drop the beavers, it was time. August 14th, 1949, and 76 beavers were moving in heights and flown in a twin engine where they skydived to the moon. And these furry paratroopers had a 99% success rate. But only because one of the beavers managed to escape and jump out of the box when he was 76 feet from the ground and took himself off his senses when he met the ground. Other than that, the rest of the Air Force beavers managed to land safely on the ground and were able to fall out the box and explore the new neighborhood and begin a new beaver life. And to most people, this was a success. PETA wasn't happy about it, but you know, PETA gon' PETA. Also, it
True.
each parachuting beaver cost taxpayers about $7 a beaver, so I'd say it worked out pretty well.
That's good. Shit. Better than this?
Something about 76 beavers being airmailed and parachuted like some DLC just brings me joy. One of my favorite all-time animal facts was that the CIA once tried to weaponize otters for some reason, because the 60s were a weirder, druggier time, I guess. But they were low-key onto something, because otters are smart enough to use tools, tough enough to survive the freezing ocean, however. They'll square up and run fades with jaguars and caiman. I've seen them do it. Even though they look like plush toys, they have the power to seriously fuck you up if you give them a reason. They're like honey badgers with better swim time. So someone in the CIA created a report called the Otter Dossier, and I'm gonna read you my favorite parts. According to the Otter Dossier, they can be trained to climb ladders and stairs, can carry objects underwater, open zippers, throw objects with their mouth, and turn on faucets. They somehow figured out that a motivated water weasel can chew through a zinc sheet, and I honestly couldn't tell you how they found that one. There's a lot of other stuff in there too, like how to properly take care of otter pups, because apparently they get diarrhea. A lot. But by far my favorite is where they say otters are easy to train, but they can become too devoted to humans, which can lead to their destruction. Yeah, honestly, same. The report also mentions that they're almost impossible to transport because an otter that feels confined can and will attempt to destroy anything trying to escape. The report also specifically says never to take food from an otter because, and I might be paraphrasing here, take their food and they take your fingers. And in fact, the exact quote was, never take food from an otter, particularly that which is just caught or suffer severe mauling. Yeah, someone got really up for them.
Alright, someone.
Please read the whole report. I'm gonna put it in the comments. I mean, there's a chance the report's fake and none of this ever happened, but it's so detailed, like too much effort went into it for it to be a lie. More of this video, otters are smart, nasty, and they give less than a prom night virgin. basically weapons of auto destruction.
Turkey's performing demon ritual on past tense cat.
So there's actually a really interesting and complex reason why turkeys do this. Turkeys are so fucking stupid that it's actually medically fascinating. Like, they're not dumb enough to stare at the sky during a storm and reverse baptize themselves. That's actually a well-known myth. But they are brain cell deficient enough to not tell the difference between a threat to their way of life and an expired cat. It's likely that turkeys are curious about the past tense cat, but too paranoid to get too close to the corpse because, again, turkeys have no idea it's dead and no way of knowing if it's dangerous. What you're seeing is a prey response that only an animal locked in the basement of the food chain can come up with. As for circling, birds like turkeys, chickens, and pheasants will instinctively follow the tail of the bird in front of them. It's a behavior that helps keep them together as a flock, since holding hands isn't really an option. So pretty much these turkeys are stuck in a never-ending cycle of follow the leader, but none of them actually identify as one, so they just keep going. And fun fact, this
Seriously?
is the mascot of America. Since a guy named Ben Franklin thought bald eagles were cowardly scavengers that didn't deserve the clout. But if you YouTube what a bald eagle really sounds like, he might have been on timing. So yeah, turkeys are, I'm not gonna say they're stupid, but I'm not gonna say they're aware of the world either. Someone asked me what I think the most underrated animal in the world is, and I instantly thought of this picture. Those really do be goating. The bottom of their hooves have contour to the surface they're climbing, which allows them to be a middle of physics. This isn't Photoshop. These are the tree climbing goats of Morocco. They figured out that the fruits of the argan tree are an easy source of food, and when nature says climb, goats say how high. This is an alpine ibex. They'll scale up the Sinjano Dam in Italy just to lick the salt off the stones and let the rest of the world wonder how. For y'all to think goats are just some hippie-free climbing sheep, they eat their Wheaties. Some male mountain goats scales at over 300 pounds.
300 pounds. Fuck that. 300 pounds, and if you press them, they charge at you too. So you got 300 pounds coming in hard. Fuck no, bro. Bro, that's the best way to get your fucking chest caved in.
Mountain goat once caught a fade with a grizzly, and it was the bear that got turned into a trophy. Got smoke for you.
Ain't that a bitch?
Have been warned when going through the Olympic National Trail in Washington because the mountain goats there have started harassing people. The reason is because the mountain goats there have gotten addicted to the salt and human sweat and pee, and they'll press you just to get their fix.
Really?
Their area code is like a Batman signal to a feeding goat. One actually took a man off the census and wouldn't even let first responders get near his body. Those goats became such a menace that they had to be airdropped somewhere else. The media won't admit it, but out of all the bears, cougars, and wolves, goats are the real G's. But like lasagna, they move in silence. You only have 3 seconds. If you're already dead. Alright, time's up. Here's why you always look up if you're under a tree in Tanzania. That is a leopard. Leopards are the best climbers.
I did not see that bitch.
Stalk their victims from branches, only to drop down and put them in God's recently deleted. And they'll wait up in the trees for hours for the right opportunity to strike. And if you try to escape by climbing up the tree, that'd be like stealing Michael Phelps' water and swan diving into a pool. That's their home court. That's only one reason you should be careful under trees. Because leopards carry their meals up in trees where they don't have to pay food taxes to lions or hyenas. And leopards are so freakishly strong that they can deadlift animals heavier than they are up into the trees using only their mouth. Yes, that is a giraffe. But because leopards keep anything they can't finish up in the trees, you can really become a hashtag if a leopard's lunch gets airdropped to the back of your head. Which means at least once in the history of mankind, a child became an orphan because a half-eaten rhino fell from a tree and put his father in a Twitter bio. And when I say leopards will fly out of a tree to catch a body, I mean they don't have fall damage, or at least they don't think they do. Leopards have a hit list of over 90 different species of animal, and they're so good at stat padding that they'll sometimes accidentally friendly fire.
Damn! Oh, shit.
This animal sends more people to the ER than bears, wolves, and cougars combined. The American bison is the heaviest thing with a heartbeat in North America, maxing out at over 2,200 pounds. They can also grow to 10 feet long, run you down at 35, try to run from the smoke by hopping over a fence. A motivated bison can clear a 6-foot fence. Now,
that's some bullshit.
Seriously testing his life insurance. One is
You're an idiot.
pretty much legally blind, so like rhinos, they respond to anything that moves with violence. And 2 is because a bison is a great value meal for predators. Wolves and grizzlies have been known to smoke an alpha pack, and mountain lions will target unaccompanied baby bison. That generational trauma means a bison is more likely to turn a person into a chalk outline if they get out of line. The difference between a bear and an animal like a moose or a bison is a bear looks at you and has to decide if you're even worth the effort. A bison assumes you're going to turn him into calories and will barrel roll you first. But because bison in national parks are used to being around people, they're usually pretty chill unless you get too close. Only problem is getting too close is how pictures like this happen. Someone had to go home with no pants and explain that she lost them because
And
social things with tapeworms.
and I know y'all can see it. There's blood on those fucking pants too. And judging from where it is, that motherfucker got a hole in their goddamn leg, or that horn where the sun don't shine. That fucking sucks. Bad. Fuck that, bro.
Yeah, don't do that. Because bison isn't just a name. It's what your parents are gonna say at your casket if Appa decides to turn up on you.
Horrifying sound of a woman becoming a hashtag.
The biggest mistake you could make is going to save that woman. Because that's not a woman getting turned into a headline. That was a female mountain lion in heat. Female cougars will often make these shrieking, blood-curdling screams when they're in estrus. It's like their Batman signal for getting laid. Answering that call when it's not for you is how you meet Batman's parents. Of course, I'm exaggerating. Cougars are way more afraid of you and will probably go the other way if you pull up on them. What won't go away are the bricks in your pants after you try to be a hero and make eye contact with this walking steroid. I know I'm still gonna mention it.
Look at that.
Tigers have been known to imitate the sounds of their prey to fool them into a false sense of security before they turn them into a hashtag. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, this is a margay and they do the exact same thing with baby monkeys. Now, I'm not saying the cougars do it on purpose, but I am saying that nature is a bitch like that. Also, I forgot to mention that cougars tend to scream while mating. So if you're ever alone with a woman on a Tinder date with Joe from you, don't worry. It's just cougars getting more action than you.
You's a bitch, bro. Is that?
You know penguins will sell themselves, but like in that way?
Why?
Let me explain. This is an Adelie penguin. If you hear a messed up penguin fact, it usually involves them. So basically, Adelies build their nests out of piles of pebbles, which means two things. Pebbles are a penguin's form of currency, and the penguin with the most pebbles is considered the most attractive. So female Adelie penguins will offer their bodies to males in exchange for a rock, and yeah, it's exactly what I'm making it sound like. Sometimes the female will give it up to a male in exchange for a pebble, even though she already has a mate waiting for her back at the nest. Scientists can't really confirm this, but it's believed the females do this so that if their mate gets packed up by a seal or something, they still have a backup. Just to stop there, because a lot of times the will pretend to be interested in the single male.
That's fucking amazing. Good lord. Damn, now that's literally the sign of Now that's literally a fucking prostitute, bro. Bro, you literally telling me the female penguin, even though already has a mate, will go out, do some strange for some change, then come back. Oh, fuck that, bro. That's bullshit. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that.
Right when the male thinks he's about to get it in, she takes the pebble and runs back to her actual mate. The best example I could think of is if you buy a girl a drink only for her to take it and bring it over to her man on the other side of the bar. Basically, these penguins pull a Cardi B, but, you know, without the Cosby part. And before you feel bad for them, just remember that male Adelies have been known to have relations with injured females, chicks, penguin corpses, and one even hooked up with the ground. To completion. Penguins are dressed as Wall Street brokers.
And whenever he means to completion, it does mean the dude that it finished. And that the male penguins are just, if they're down bad, anything to get their rocks off is literally what they'll do. Probably need to tell some fucking nice guys about this shit. Oh, and the Cardi B thing, I remember I saw that shit in a fucking club one time. That shit made me laugh.
And they have the moral compass of one too. Friendly reminder that reindeer will eat this special magic mushroom that'll get them so high that they'll wander around aimlessly and make a bunch of weird drunken noises. And the mushroom's toxic to us, but if you drink the pee of a reindeer that's eaten it, you too can get elevated and hella faded. Basically, getting R. Kelly by a reindeer will have you believing you can fly as well. The more you know.
Alright, that's the end of the video. Wow. I know there's a couple of people that'll fucking do that shit. But getting high off of deer piss. Okay. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down if you have a request or any questions, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The link to the original video will be in the description. Check the dude out. Very knowledgeable and funny as all hell. All right then. I'll see y'all again next time. Peace.